Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. So today I want to talk about time and specifically how I try to maximize my time. Because for those of you who follow my journey, you know that I juggle multiple things. I work a full-time W-2, which I work 8 hours a day. You factor in the commute, it's about 10, let's call it 12 hours a day. I try to sleep 8 hours a day. So I only have about 4 hours of free time after work, which includes eating dinner, if I go to the gym, if I exercise, if I spend time with my fiance. So I'll kind of share how I maximize my weekdays. And then my weekends, I typically have more free time and what I really try to do in order to maximize my time. So I was listening to a podcast recently and it kind of hit me hard when people said, oh, I don't have enough time to do things. I work a full-time job. And this is just one full-time job, right? This may not apply if you work 2 or 3 full-time jobs, but you can take nuggets here and there from this kind of concept. So if you work a 9-to-5 job, Monday through Friday, you have 2 weekend days off a week. And so 2 times 52 weeks, that's 104 days of that. That's almost 1/3 of the year that you can almost, or 1/4 of the year that you can almost allocate towards side business, investing, whatever that looks like in order to help you build financial freedom. On top of that, if you work a 9-to-5, there's also a 5 to 9. So you have 4 hours a day times 5 days a week. That's 20 hours additional, which is almost 2.5 extra working days. If you factor in the federal holidays, I think it's about 9 or 10 federal holidays, depending where you work. So you can have 10 federal holidays additional. And on top of that, if you factor in your 2 to 3 weeks of PTO, that's another 2 or 3 weeks. So once I heard that, I was just like, wow, we have so much time in the day, and it's just a matter of how do you use that time, right? Are you using that time to build a side hustle, or are you just using the time to distract yourself from your job? And I've been guilty of both, to be honest. Like if it's a hard work week and you come back drained, then you just kind of want to relax on the weekend, have some drinks on Friday night, have some drinks on Saturday night, just have fun and to wind off, to de-stress and to take it easy. So that's kind of what most people do. But if you're trying to get to the 1% and build wealth and build financial freedom and to give yourself options, you have to be willing to do what 99% of people won't do. So let me kind of break down my typical weekday. So for me, I wake up around 6:30 a.m. and from 6:30 to about 7, I get ready for my day. And part of that is I am, brush my teeth, wash my face. I'll do a light stretching routine that's no more than like 5 minutes, to be honest. And from there, to get your body loose and flowing, I'm doing this in complete silence. So I typically will not check my phone first 30 minutes to give my brain that peace and quiet. I don't check emails, I don't check social media, I don't check text messages. I just turn off the alarm and I start my morning routine. So I kind of have like a more casual morning routine. So once again, complete silence, no music, nothing. Brush my teeth, wash my face, do some stretching. I will change into my work clothes, and then I will go downstairs to my kitchen area, prepare my breakfast. And from there, when I'm eating my breakfast, typically I have my journal. It's just a notepad, and I'll just put the date and type down 4 or 5 bullet points of what I learned, what I need to focus on, and what I need to do. So it's I don't really think too much about it. I just write whatever on top of my mind, whether it's an idea, whether it's something I need to work on, like maybe de-stress less, don't stress as much at work, whatever that looks like. That's what I really try to do. And from there, I typically will drive to work. It takes me about an hour, welcome to LA traffic, to get into my job. It takes me about an hour to drive 15 miles, believe it or not. So during this hour, typically I'm listening to some sort of podcast. The podcasts I'm currently listening to are Ed Milet. That one is more about mindset and kind of inspirational talk to get me motivated. I will listen to The School of Greatness by Lewis Howes, also mindset and success principles. I listen to Bigger Pockets Money, specifically the episodes talking about financial freedom and early retirement, because I'm starting to kind of plan for my early retirement. Next one is sometimes I listen to Think Media to kind of learn about social media and ways to slowly improve over time. I listen to Alex Hormozy, The Game, a lot about mindset and business. And Andrew Huberman is more of a science podcast, and that one is just more of science, learning how to breathe, mindset, that type of stuff. So if the episode interests me, I'll listen to it. If not, I don't listen to it. And I typically will listen to a podcast on the way to work if I'm not tired that morning. So usually I'm like eating, listening to podcasts. I'm stuck in traffic. I have my Tesla, so I have autopilot, which is nice. So I'll get into work around 8 to 8:15, and then I'm at work between I usually get off work around maybe 4:30, and then it takes me about an hour to get back, hour to hour and a half to get home. So typically I'll get back a little before 6, and once again, this commute back, I may listen to some podcasts if I'm not tired. If I'm tired, sometimes I will drive in complete silence, which is a form of meditation that I use. So would highly recommend for those who want to quiet their mind, just try driving in complete silence. In the beginning, your mind will race, but eventually you will have clarity and you can really enjoy the scenery. So when I get home, at this point, I will help my fiance prepare dinner, and we'll eat if she's off work or already home before me. Usually she'll start preparing dinner, and when I come in, I will change and assist. And after that, typically we will clean up the house, watch some TV, go for a walk after we eat, take our vitamins, and sometimes if I have time, I might record a podcast or episode or some YouTube videos, or talk to property managers. So it really depends. My weekdays aren't too busy. If I might have coaching calls with some of my mentees that I'm doing. So if that's the case, sometimes I might do it while I drive back or when I'm back from work. So that's my typical weekday. I haven't been as good with working out as much. I'm trying to get back into it, but it's hard to regain that habit. But we do go for a walk, and eventually my gym's opening, but I try to work out maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And I just got a sauna box, which will be behind me eventually. And I'm hoping to work out 3 or 4 times a week, and then use that sauna box 3 or 4 times a week to meditate, recharge, de-stress, and relax my body. So that's kind of my weekday. On the weekend is where I do most of my work. So if my fiance is at work, like this weekend, typically I will film more content. I have more free time. If she's there, typically we try to do things together, whether it's going out, errands, groceries, whatever that looks like, we'll do that together. But on the weekends she's at work, then I typically will wake up, watch some anime, believe it or not, some TV to start my day, and then get into some podcast, do some exercise, and then after that I typically will take it easy. So for me, people think I'm juggling a lot, which I am. I'm working full-time as a pharmacy leader. I own 52 units of real estate, which, to be honest, at this point doesn't take up that much of my time. I film content whenever I have a moment, and I'm also learning and listening to podcasts whenever I have a chance and some downtime. So why I'm sharing this is because, it may sound boring. The sacrifice I'm making is, I don't have as much time to hang out with friends. Well, most of my friends are up in the Bay Area anyways. So it's hard to have that random spontaneous hangout, but I just kind of do what I want at my pace, and I'm like really efficient. And why I share that is because if you want to go to the 1% and build wealth and have financial freedom and have a life that many people won't have, it comes with sacrifice, it comes with discipline, and it comes with setting up a system and a routine that works for you. So this is how I really optimize my routine is almost, if you look at it, almost every hour I try to be as productive as I can. And I try to, for me, I love to make fast decisions. And why I make fast decisions is because I have so many decisions to make on a daily basis. I want to just get it out of the way. So this is, if you look at how fast someone makes a decision, and you'll know how much wealthy they are. So people who make faster decisions, I guarantee you, they're probably going to be on the wealthier end versus those who take forever to make one decision. They're not going to be as wealthy. Like I know a lot of people, I've been working W2 for 11 years. They take weeks to make a decision. And what really happens is they discuss it, don't have an answer, say, hey, let's think about it later. They forget about it until like 4 weeks later and someone brings it up again. And at that point, they might make a rush decision. So to me, I'm like, well, if that's the situation, I might as well just make a decision up front 4 weeks ago. And if it wasn't the best decision, then pivot and change the decision or do something different. So that's how I've always been that way. Whether it's W2, whether it's real estate, whether it's business, I just make quick decisions. And worst case, you can pivot. Nothing is, permanent for the most part. Now, if it's a bigger decision, then you probably want to get a good night's sleep. You want to make sure that you're well fed and you want to make sure you're relaxed, maybe change your scenery. Then you can really assess your decisions, over time. So for me, as I built more wealth, as I've bought more real estate, as I've gone down this financial freedom journey, I realized that time is the most essential asset. And as you build more wealth, you try to buy back your time. And that's really the goal in the game. Or you want to allocate your time to things that you really like doing or you want to do. So anyways, hopefully you found value from this rant about, how I kind of optimize my time and what my day-to-day looks like as a full-time pharmacist, as someone who owns 52 units of real estate, and as somebody who has a $6 million net worth. So anyways, if you're interested in buying multifamily real estate with some guidance, check out the mentorship program. Otherwise, please let me know what questions you have. Please like, comment, subscribe, and please share with me what you're doing to help improve your time efficiency. Hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much.